good morning, people. It is your boy, SportsRap CEO. And you see I'm outside. I'm not in studio. And it's early. All right, it's 11 a.m. I'm up early, so you should be up early as well. Because it's Monday, and you know what we do on Mondays. But I got a special treat for y'all today. Don't worry, I'm still going to be with y'all at 4 o'clock. Don't worry. So I'm here, Art History 101. And I just caught them because guys are here doing major things. And I'm going to tip my hat just a little bit. Moving into their own building very soon. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. But anyway, I'm here with Jay. All right, Eric's in the background. We may sneak him in on camera at some point too. But anyway, I'm here to talk to you all and talk to Jay to bring you all the news and everything that's going on with Art History 101.
Yeah,
all right?
A lot going on.
Very unique name. So let's start there.
Yep.
Art History 101.
Yep.
How did we come up with that name?
I've always been into art since I was a kid. And my mom would always encourage it. She'd buy me art books and drawing pads and markers and pencils and stuff like that. And when I first got into the t-shirt industry, I was working for this company, Mesquite Originals, where we like hand painted shirts.
I've done some work with them.
Yeah, so there was like a good 30 artists or so, give or take, when I first started, and everybody kind of like had like their own niche. Like some people could literally paint so good down to the hair on your chin. Other people were like real good at graffiti or abstract or just comic book style. So around that time, my mom had bought me these 2 little art books that I could travel with and like check them out. And I'd ask people saying like, out of the art books, like what's things do you like? Everybody likes something different. Mm-hmm. So I thought to myself, well, if I came up with a brand called Art History, you could literally put all these different styles of art and it could be marketed towards everybody. It didn't matter your age, race, religion, what you're into or anything like that. I just thought that it was a strong name and that it just fits for like what I was trying to do. And the funny thing is when I first like came up with the concept Art History, and I would tell people like, yeah, I'm going to start this clothing line called Art History. People would already say, like, yo, I heard of that before. Like,
right.
And I never put out a shirt, but it's just a powerful name where people would just be like, I heard that before. And then if I was going to the doctor's office or like filling out just some type of paperwork where it say like employer, I would always put like Art History 101, and people would always just say like, I love that name. What is it?
Yeah, it's a cool name. I like the name because, like I said, as I went through and saw the work, the art, and then I started seeing the sports stuff, and then I started seeing the history. And I thought to myself, and I'm like, this guy's got to be a sports fan. He's got to be a crazy sports fan, aside from the other stuff. And I said, like, I see the stuff, the history, and I'm like, I saw the shirts, the different neighborhoods, the different things around the city. So really, really great that you started it, and I wish you the best. I'm like now, because I know you're taking off, so I know you just hope you just keep skyrocketing.
And let me add on that the 101 on the end of Art History 101, it stands for one of one, meaning like one of a kind.
Right.
But it's a double entendre because it also has the meaning of like learning and education.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's a lot of meaning into the name.
Yeah, that's cool. So how do you come up with some of these concepts? Like, before I get to that, right, I want everybody to look here. And I know y'all can see it on the camera. This here. We know this guy, right? Big Dom. How did that come up with that Godfather-esque thing?
Well, the thing is, I can't take credit for that one. He is the one that came up with that one. So, like, we kind of had a brainstorming session where we're like, we got to come up with something for Big Dom. And he says, why don't we just do, like, a spin-off of the Godfather poster where he's, like, holding the cat? And he goes, we'll just have Big Dom like dressed like the Godfather. He'll be holding a football instead of the cat. So he came up with the concept. We started like working on the design, getting that done. And then like we added like the little Godfather puppet master thing through the Star H. And then like just that little detail, the Italian patch, because Big Dom is known for like all of his Eagles gear to have like the Italian flag on it.
Somewhere.
You know what I'm saying? So like all them little details, they just go a long way.
Cool. Now, we got another one, folks, too. I don't see them here, but Cam Jurgens.
Yeah.
The lawnmower.
Yeah.
I saw the story, a little bit of the story. Tell us about that story and how that one came.
Yeah, we have two coming out. So it's like the Lawnmower Man with Landon Dickerson.
That's what I'm saying.
And then we got the Beef Jerky one with Cam Jurgens.
Okay.
So we got both of them coming out. Yeah, this is the
Wow.
this is the Cam Jurgens one right here.
Nice.
Yeah. So I love the offensive line of the Eagles. I've met them a bunch of times, and they seem to be the most down to earth, coolest people. So they've rocked art history before, so it just makes sense for us to collab with them. So we're kind of doing a series. These are the first two, and then we got some more like in the pipeline.
Cool.
But with the Landon Dickerson one, it was like when he signed his contract with the Eagles, a reporter asked him, "What are you going to do with all that money?" And his response was, "I think I'm going to buy a lawnmower." So
you gotta love that.
Yeah.
True to himself. And obviously that's what he likes to do. He cuts his grass and he rides a mower. But a lot more times than not, those guys that sit there and they give kind of like feel like they have to give the journalists what they want to hear. So they'll say something like, "I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to buy somebody a house." But like I said, I'm like you. I truly love the genuine nature of when I see these guys in interviews and I see them in the locker room after the game and I see them talking. It's like perfect. You know, you can't not love this team.
Yeah.
You can't not love them. Let's see. So, you gave me the story on the name and the backdrop and how the name. I talked to some people and somebody was like, "Well, you want to see art?" I said, "Yeah, it's Art History 101. I said, "Just check them out." I said, "But for me, I like to call them Philly Sports Apparel on steroids." And
I like that.
He's laughing, and I'm like,
I like
"Dude,
that.
like when you see him, he's like, what do you mean?" I'm like, "They got the Saquon, they got everything, they got the Life Hers, the Jalen Hurts." I said, "But they got everything. They got Philly stuff." I said, "When you get up there, you can get a chance to get up." Obviously, he hasn't been up here yet, but he'll see this video and he'll make sure he gets here and then get to the new store. Let's talk about the T-shirt that we mentioned off there initially.
Yep.
How did that come about? And just before we get just a little touch on that, the story that you gave me, I kind of got a feeling like you just saw your kid there and you just wanted to take a picture of the kid. And then as it kept going, stuff came out.
That was more of like a legacy play. As my son gets older, when he hits like his teenage years and he's in his 20s and stuff like that, he could look back and say, when I was a baby, when I was a little kid, my dad was like, put me on shirts. And it was just more of a legacy play, but it became such a staple here. Like people love that design to where we always keep it in stock in different colorways and stuff like that. But so every year we come up with designs for certain holidays and sports and stuff like that. So like Philly's home opener, Eagles home opener, we always try to drop something new. But for Mother's Day, we've always dropped something new. So that was actually a Mother's Day release. And it just hit. We had a line out the door for it. And it just sold like crazy. So that shirt's really special. You know?
Yeah. Now, folks, I'll show y'all that one later when I pull up some pictures and post with it. But that's the one with the heart.
Yep.
And then we have another one.
Yep.
Phillies Ring the Bell.
Yeah.
And when I show you that one, you're going to be like, wow, this kid's perfect. He's an artist. Like, the way the shirt looks, when you look at it, it's the first thing you're going to think. When you see it, you'll understand. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So you said you like the Eagles' offensive line.
Yes.
How big of a sports fan are you, really?
So, grew up playing sports. My brother's 2 years older than me. We played everything: basketball, baseball, soccer, boxing, and everything in between, hockey and everything. Him being 2 years older than me, and he was always bigger than me, it made me so competitive. Mm-hmm. So, we cared about how many trophies were on the wall. Like, me and my brother had a bunch of trophies over here. I had a bunch of trophies over there. We were super competitive. So I think that kind of has always been a part of me, is the sports aspect. I really like art and I love Philly. So it's kind of like them three things, all combined, is what you're seeing in the apparel. You know what I'm saying? So it's like me growing up in sports, I remember watching ESPN 3 times a day as a kid before going to school, coming home from school at night, and there would be a rerun to where I could literally like repeat all the words. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just instilled in me, you know. So like you got that aspect of like me being born and raised in Philly, me being an artist, and then having that sports aspect. So that's kind of what you're seeing.
Cool. So you're doing this interview with me today, little old me. People know me around the city a little bit, but I appreciate your time because I know you guys are close to it, but I definitely appreciate your time. Leading into, I read that one of your shirts was featured, Pat McAfee show.
Yes.
Bradley Cooper.
Yes.
How was that? What was the feeling when that happened?
So I just gave that speech last week about that winning feeling. So when I was in the 7th grade, I got cut from the varsity soccer team. And I thought that I was, in my head, I'm like, I'm the best player out here. They're going to cut me. Right. And they cut me because they said I was a show off. I was a hot dog, too flashy, whatever. But a lot of kids tried out that year. So there was an A team and a B team. So I was on the B team. The rejects, the people that got cut, blah, blah. But that was like all the motivation I needed that year. So every practice and game, I just like played on fire. So we made it to the semifinals, and we were playing a really tough team. The score is 0-0 with like seconds left on the clock. And one of my teammates like boots the ball towards their net. And I ran as fast as I could. I caught it off the volley. Boom, I scored. Seconds later, the ref blows a whistle. Game over. My teammates threw me on their shoulders and carried me off the field. And like that's that feeling of like the butterflies in your belly, or just like that moment where like you see someone on stage like getting an award and they're just crying because you never seen all the hard work that they did to get to that point, right? So it's like Kobe holding a trophy or something like that. Jordan, like he got a tear. Like that feeling that you get inside, it's a high. And you chase that all the time. Like once you feel that one time, you just constantly chase it. So like Eagles win the Super Bowl. Me and E were up all night. Like we were working on shirts. We were here in the store. So the next morning, my phone just starts blowing up. And people are just sending me pictures. Bradley Cooper on ESPN. And all of a sudden, we're getting internet orders from all over the world. Wow. Australia, Ireland, Sweden, Canada. Yeah, so like it's just that I wanted to run 10 miles. Wow, right? Great. Like it's just that winning feeling. And I just like constantly chase that over and over and over.
Yeah. I'm sure that's a great feeling. Yeah. And it's like you can only imagine seeing something like that. And then like you said, when you see it, it's like you get that moment. And you know, I've had that moment once or twice in doing the podcast where I've done some stuff and then I get people like, yo, that was like a great interview. Those questions were like, and I'm like, you saw it? Like when I tell you I'm doing stuff, you never kind of look or you glance and don't really pay attention. I'm like, but you really watched the whole video and paid attention? And you're like, yeah, it did. So I definitely commend you for that. Now, the other shirt I wanted to talk about a little bit, the Eagle shirt with the journalist child made that you had to collab with Habitat for Humanity.
Yep, the Graham gown.
Another one.
Yeah.
Where, Graham gown. I tell my people, I always bring you people that are doing things, definitely positive things, but definitely things that help other people. Yep. Like we said, Habitat for Humanity. Yep. Like everything that I do, even if sports, everything that I do, I want to do stuff and I try to focus on stuff that's here in our city, in our backyard, because there are a lot of things that people don't know. And I only know that from being in the city, traveling and having people asking questions about the city. And I'm like, talking to them, then I realize it's stuff that I take for granted that I know about that's here. So I try to do that to people. I try to bring light to stuff that's here. And like I said, this Frankfurt Avenue is like down the street from my house, basically. Like, you know, a little drive, but like right down the street from the house. And it's in the city. And people can get to it. They'll see it. They see Bradley Cooper wearing it, and then it's like people can get to it. You don't have to come out. You can order, but you can get to it. And then you can wear it with enough pride for yourself, and then a little bit more pride knowing it's from somebody in your city that you have their background. So
100%.
Absolutely. So what do you think makes your design? Kind of talk a little bit about what do you think makes your designs stand out amongst
I
the
care.
ranks?
I care 100% about being authentic, about being unique and staying in my own lane. And then the third thing is that I refine all the time, where it's just like I want the design to be perfect. I go the extra mile. I put the little extra time in. I go back out before we put this out. Let me look at it one more time. And also is that I got 20 years of experience, so I feel like I became a master of it, to where if I sit down and do something, like I just have an eye for what pops.
Yeah, I like that answer. And like I said, you know, we talk. Like I said, I'm a t-shirt guy, and I like to stand out. And I think it's great that you stand out because, like you said, if somebody sees me in a shirt, it's not like they can just go automatically, easily, real quick and say, "Oh, I'm gonna order this shirt." No, you got to know where I got it from to get it. And I think that also, in my opinion, enhances the brand.
Oh, yep.
Because now it's like kind of like cutting out the middleman, you know, so to speak. And it's like it's genuine. It's like I'm getting it heart to heart, heartfelt. And then especially like with your story and the way you just answered that question, definitely people should be buying them from you and not just anywhere else.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Let's see here. So I also noted, I did a little bit of homework. Noted that you had some designs that you make, and you make them limited editions.
Yes.
Or limited qualities.
Yep.
Why is that?
Originally, it was like a play off the name, like Art History 101, where we would only release 101 of that product. There was times where we would number them, like the inside tag would be numbered, or like on the shirt, we would like number it. And then there's even times where we gave a certificate of authenticity that says like, this is number 1 of 101, 2. And I would like sign it, date it, and everything like that. Because when you buy official artwork, that's how it comes. Certificate of authenticity, it's limited runs and stuff like that. It also gives people that sense of urgency to like buy now.
Right.
So there's multiple reasons why I do like that blueprint for business, like a lot. But to scale to a global brand, right, I felt like you can't make everything a 101. You know what I'm saying? But those 101s become collector's items. And some of them things are just like, there's people that own hundreds of art history shirts. We have a guy that owns like 500 art history shirts. We have like other people that own like 300. Like someone actually told me my goal was to own 101 art history shirts. Wow. Right? So like cool. There's always
stuff was limited.
Yeah. So like that's the thing, is that like making them shirts like limited for like the collectors and stuff like that just makes it special.
I just had to ask that because that's right up my alley. Like I said, I like to wear stuff that's limited and original. And like I said, I hate to see other people with the same stuff. It's just like,
yeah, I have
for me, it's like, it's just so, you get saturated with the same thing. And it's like, you go somewhere and it's like, you got the shirt.
See, the funny thing is, for years, we've had like friends and good customers here that would be like, yo, people ask me where I get it from. I don't tell them.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody.
And I've been in that stage too. I've had some other stuff that I've had on, and people were like, you know, one person asked, and I'm like, it's a gift. And then I look up, and I'm like, where I'm at, I'm out, and I'm like, now 15 people asking me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it was a gift. I don't know where the person got it from, but, you know, it was a gift. And I think that's, for me, that's true to the person that I bought the shirt from.
Yep.
Like you said, your friends and everything. Oh, we're not telling you where you got it from. Nope. If you find it, you find it. Good luck. But if not, I'm not going to tell you.
Another cool thing about that is our customers have said it's like art history is like a secret society, right? So you could be not in Philadelphia. So I actually had like a cousin and a good customer here. They were on a cruise like in the Bahamas or something like that. and the customer here is wearing an art history shirt. My cousin went up, yo, what's up? They told me for the next 3 days that they were partying together. They were taking pictures, sending them to us. But like, even if you see somebody out in the world and they got on an art history shirt, you might have one on. You just kind of give them that nod, like if you know, you know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. That's cool. So we talked a little bit about the process and all that stuff. We went through this pretty quick. So one question I do have for Red October. You don't have to give me everything. What's coming down? What's coming out for Red October?
Yeah, we got a couple things coming out. So what we usually do is that for each round of the playoffs that the Phillies get into, when they win and get to the next round, we always drop something new. Okay. So like for each time that we win a series, like expect something new from our history.
Okay. Cool. So backtracking just a little bit, the surprise that you got when Bradley Cooper wore the shirt on Pat McAfee. How big of a surprise was it when the news came in and did that feature?
See, I don't know how to word that, because like I'm grateful that the news always, but it's like every time the Phillies, the Eagles, anything Philly sports related or anything like that happens, it's like people expect art history to seize the moment, like put out something like very unique and things like that. So it's like the news will be like, all right, Eagles season's about to start. Let's hit up art history and see what they got going on. Okay. So it's like, I don't want to sound like I'm grateful or anything like that, because every time I'm on the news, it's just like great for business and great exposure for the brand. But there was the first time that the Eagles made it to the Super Bowl. The Inquirer did an article on where to buy Philly sports merch throughout the city. We weren't on the list. Like, people were like, how you leave out art history, right? After that,
you're on the list every time.
We're on the list every time. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, that's kind of how the game goes, I guess, you know?
So we're going to have a little bit of fun here. Eric's saying he's working, I'm sure. If you had to pick a top 5 designs, top 5, what would be your top
5? As far as sports?
Shirts as designs that you guys have done. If you had to go with a top
5. People ask me, like, yo, what's your favorite shirt? Like,
I'm a big fan of the one with her smoking the cigar. That's a good one.
So I'll say this, right? Because
this one's good too. The middle one.
The middle one. Mm-hmm.
I've done shirts that have like changed things for me, right? So I did shirts for Method Man, right? So like I got pictures, and he came. So I did 2 shirts for Method Man. He wore them in High Times magazine and the Source magazine, and they made it to the front cover, right? So like Method Man is on the front cover of High Times magazine. He has a huge tray. He got all this weed on, and he's wearing the shirt I made. And even when they interviewed him, they're like, that's an awesome shirt. Who made it for you and all? He was like, you know, they made this for you, actually, because it said like High Times on it. So that was a big deal. And then that kind of led me into, I started doing shirts for Method Man and Redman all the time. I got invited to a music video. I met the film director and a stylist at this video. And then they flew me out to LA a couple weeks later for the Young Berg Sexy Lady video. Mm. So I did 4 hoodies for that video. And when I was out there, they asked me to like hand paint some stuff. And they loved what I was doing, to where they were like, if you want to stay out in LA, we'll put you in the Mims Like This video. You can paint a hoodie and everything like that. So then I did the hoodie for Mims Like This video. And then they put me in the video. Wow. So, and then after that, it led to me doing Beyonce Checkup on a video. I did the Pink Panther that Bun B is wearing in that video. And then I did Draped Up and Dripped Out with Bun B. I painted the background for that video and a bunch of apparel. And then I eventually did the Superman hoodie that Soulja Boy's wearing in Crank That. Wow. And that was the first viral hip-hop video on like YouTube. It was a big deal. So the next time that Soulja Boy, like his stylist hit me up, he was going to be on the front cover of the Source magazine. And they called me up and they were like, Jay, we want the art history stuff.
Wow.
So that was the first time I ever put art history in the world, was when Soulja Boy wore it on the front cover of the Source and like the inside spread.
That's amazing.
So like those shirts like mean a lot to me, just because is that like each one was a step on the ladder to get me further in my career.
Get that good. Oh, jet set. Right?
Yep.
Taking off. Yeah, that's great. I love that story. Yeah, great story. What else do I want to ask? Just tell me how it feels to be moving into your own building.
Yeah, so we've been renters here 15 years. We had a fire here back in March of 2021. We lost everything in that fire. We worked out of my house for 9 months, rebuilt, opened back up. And then a year later, like after that, our store got looted one night. They threw a brick through our window, like cleaned us out. And as renters here, we didn't really get we got zero help from the landlord, right? So to be able to purchase your own building, not only so it's the American dream, right? Like I love what I do. I made enough money off it to where I bought a house, I bought a commercial building. We own it. We're in control of it. Like, so if anything ever happens, fire, looting, or anything like that, we're responsible and we'll handle it correctly. So there's so many pros to doing it. Yeah, you know, man. Like, it just makes the company more valuable. We have more assets, and it just feels good to be like, we did it. We own this.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I love everything I said. I love a lot of the stuff that you guys have here. Hopefully, not that you really need it, but hopefully some of my friends can see this video and get here and get some stuff. Because, like you said, the name, art history, and the stories you just told me, you're just creating history along the way.
Yep.
And the name is just perfect. And I commend you for doing this and doing it in the city and showing and representing the city like you have.
Let me add this too, right? Is that art and sports are two things that bridge the gap between race, religion, age, gender, all them things. Everybody like loves art and sports, you know what I mean? Like, so it just brings a multitude of people together. Yeah. And they put aside all their differences and everything like that when it comes down to like art and sports. And when people ask me like, who do you market to? Who is like your ideal customer? I try to say to them, like, if you ever spent a day here at the art history store, you would see all different type of people come in from all different type of backgrounds, ages and everything. And that's like something that I like really love, is that we are bridging the gap.
Absolutely. Yeah. I like it. I mean, like I said, you got everybody covered. You got the guys covered, got the ladies covered, and you got the little ones covered.
Yeah.
Definitely. Great. And again, for the third time, for the fourth time probably, definitely appreciate you taking some time out
100%,
of your day.
Thank you.
Today. Before I close out, in all of my interviews, I like to flip it. These people don't know. And I know some of my interviews, I'm hoping that my little in-betweens, my little ad-libs came up with a couple questions for you. Questions for me. I like to flip it and turn the interviewer into the interviewee, if you have any questions for me.
Yeah. What is your background in sports?
My background in sports is very similar to yours. I played a little bit of everything. Football, baseball, basketball. And then I found out I was a lot better in basketball than the other two sports, so I stuck with basketball. Ended up playing for a while, played 1 year in college. The football thing, for me, I played football as a kid, so I was on both sides of the ball. Started out was a little husky, so I started on the offensive line. And then, like you said, as I kept playing and going to practice, and then I started playing more outside. You know, once you get on a team and then you go back and then you're playing with your guys on the block, it's like I'm thinking of stuff that I could be doing in the game. So I just kept playing, and I started losing weight. I got on the other side, and then that grew. But then, like I said, I got to the basketball, and for some reason, that was my niche as far as a sport. And that was where I found out I was the best at. And that's what I took with, and that's like my first love. So I'm like basketball, football, baseball. My baseball thing, I got hit with a fastball twice. That ruined it for me.
See that?
That ruined it for me. I got hit in the thigh and I got hit in the ribs. That ruined it for me. You know, and then as I got older and I started doing this podcast, and when I do my show, I like to try and get people to take their fan hat off a lot of times. One of my big stories was going back, we talking art history, I'm talking history. One of my big stories was the re-signing of Tobias Harris and letting Jimmy Butler go. And I'm getting people calling me, like you said, people are calling me. What are you thinking? Why did they do this? I said, listen, you have to understand, it's business too. Take your fan hat off. And I said, at that time, in that situation, you have to understand, business-wise, they couldn't let both of them get away for nothing. There was no way they were going to let that happen. I said, now me, I'm with you all. The money, I don't know about that money that they gave to Tobias Harris. But I said, business-wise, they had to keep one of them. If not, they'd have let stock of the league. Same thing I said like with the Ben Simmons pick and the Marco Fulton, how they turned out. Oh, they should have never drafted him. Listen, at that particular time, if you don't make that pick with that number one pick, and you got somebody that they're telling you was the consensus number one pick, you don't make that pick, you look like a fool. Well, and it's up to you. If it pans out, it pans out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But just the simple making that pick, if you don't make that pick, it's like, yo, what are these dudes doing? They need to clean that house out and start all over again. So yeah, for me, that was it for me. Yeah, like I said, I dibbled a little bit, and I got to where I found out this is where I need to be, and that's where I took off and ran with it.
Two-part question, right? So how long did you say you've been doing the podcast for?
10 years.
10 years. Okay, what makes you continue? What is the reason why you keep pushing after 10 years? Because I talked to you before we put the cameras on that a lot of people start a podcast, but I don't even get past 10 episodes. Yep. So you got 10 years in. What is the thing that keeps you pushing?
What keeps me pushing is, first, my love for sports. Mm-hmm. And the second thing for me is I've gotten people involved. And I've got people to think in a different way about sports. So I think that's a tool that I can use. Like I feel like that's my niche, as opposed to everything mainstream is just, we're going to talk about what's burning today. I like to dig a little bit deeper. I like to find those stories, and I like to tear them apart and bring them in. Like later on in the day, I'm going to do Nafisa Collier. But it took me 4 days. I went through about 10 articles, 4 days, finding stuff that I can use. And I just take everything and put it in my own words and bring it to people so they understand it. So it's kind of like, and for lack of a better phrase, I like dumbing stuff down. And I want people to understand the whole entire thing, the business and being a fan. Because Philly is so passionate.
Yep.
So passionate. And we always want that instant gratification.
This is the best sports city in the world.
You love that, and I love that. But I also want people to understand why certain things go the way they go. Yeah. And I'm not saying don't be a fan. Continue. The passion, people hate us. Like they say, they hate us and we don't care. Yeah. And I love that. But I like people to understand what's going on, as opposed to just being able to say, oh, well, I like the Phillies and yeah, they're in the World Series. Why? It's got to be something else. Right. It can't just be because they're in the World Series. Because if that's the case, the next team that goes in the World Series, you're going to like them too. Yeah. So again, like I said, the Philly passion for me is what also keeps me. So yeah, the love of the game and the ability to bring the other side a different understanding, a different outlook on sports. For me, that's what keeps me going.
My third and final question doesn't have to be podcast related, sports related, or anything. What's one of the dreams that you want to accomplish before it's all said and done?
One of the dreams I want to accomplish is, it's funny you say that. You said it didn't have to be, but it's partially podcast. My biggest dream now is to have my own podcast studio where I can bring other people in and help them create and become podcasters and YouTubers. I feel like I had somebody show me things along the way, and I'm a guy that I like to learn. So if I'm in a business or to learn, I want to learn as much as possible. So like when somebody was showing, I was a sponge, and I like to share that. So that's me. I want to be able to give back to people and give it to them where it's not like a strain or a stress. Where they could just come in calm and be themselves. You don't have to be uppity. You don't have to do this and that like they do mainstream media. This is what you want to talk about. I'm going to give you the area. I'm going to give you the space, and you be comfortable and do what you do.
Nice. Let's go, baby. Let's make these dreams come true.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We didn't get Eric on camera, but we talked to him a little bit. So, folks, when I get the information, like I always do, I share my information. So when I get the information on the move, I will share the information.
Grand opening November 1st.
Grand opening. You heard it right here. Grand opening November 1st.
The address, 7214 Frankfurt Ave.
7214 Frankfurt Ave.
Yep.
Right up the street.
Yep, block away from Frankfurt.
Right here. We're in the old building now, so don't worry.
Yep.
We're going to get to the new building. Make sure y'all get there, all right? And when y'all see me in the street, I'm just going to say, if you know, you know.
That's right.
All right. That's all I'm going to say to you, right? And you're going to have to get here and do what you got to do and get your shirts. Again, you know where to find me. At SportsRap CEO, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, SportsRap TV. Check out, look out for it. You know, you'll get the alert. If you did what you were supposed to do, you'll get the alert when this video goes up. Do some editing, tighten it up a little bit. We're going to take care of it and get it up. Also, today, 4 p.m., live at SportsRap CEO. I'll be there. Art History 101, TikTok, Instagram, at Art History 101.
Yep, we're easy to find.
Instagram, TikTok. Get over there now. Check out the designs. And then at your leisure, get here before they move. And then when they move, get up the street and get your own shirt.
That's right.
Get some gifts. Get your stuff. And when you come in, tell them SportsRap sent you.
Yes,
Talk to y'all later.
Peace.
Thank you guys so much.
Dope interview, man. Appreciate it.